friends? It's attorney Anthony Bandiero here with another Roadside Chat. This one comes from an officer in California, and he brings up a topic about ordering people to show their hands during a consensual encounter. And the question is, can you do that? And there's this case out there called Frank v. It's involving a juvenile. The case was decided in 1991. And the citation is Frank v. 233 Cal App 3rd 1239. And basically what happened there is they had police had a call of reckless motorcycle driving in a high crime area. They saw Frank V as a passenger on a motorcycle that was suspected of being involved in a reckless driving. It was also parked at the curb of a known gang house. It then left. They stopped the person, and Frank V, a juvenile, had his hands in his pocket. And they either ordered him to do it or they asked him to do it. The court leans on the side of the cop ordering him to do it. And when he did that, he kept trying to put his hands back in his pocket. He was then patted down. A firearm was found. Now we have our case. And the court found under those circumstances that that request or ordering did not convert that necessarily into a detention. And almost like even if it did, it probably been reasonable anyway under the totality of circumstances. And sometimes cops are using that case as training to basically say, hey, you can, as a matter of routine for consensual encounters, you can order people to show their hands. I can tell you that's not the takeaway that I get from that case. Number one, I think the court is using sloppy language about calling this a consensual encounter, and that doesn't convert it to a consensual encounter. But at the end of the day, modern interpretation of consensual encounters would be would a person believe they can ignore you without legal repercussions? That's the way I look at this. This is the way I teach it, right? If a cop told me to take my hands out of my pocket, would I believe I can just ignore that without legal repercussions? I think the answer is absolutely not. If I don't listen to this cop who just gave me an order, which I'm going to presume is lawful, then I could be charged with obstruction and so forth. I'm not going to play games like that, not with my freedom and getting cited and so forth. And I think most people wouldn't. And so the other issue is that, most courts that have addressed that Frank's type of logic after the fact have almost directly dismissed it and said that's not realistic, right? That's not reasonable to think that these people aren't going to think they're detained. There was one case called People versus Hutcherson. It's another California case. The citation is from 2007, Westlaw 2482134. I don't have a public reporter, citation, but I just have the Westlaw, and they pretty much outright dismiss this whole Frank's logic that it's somehow still a consensual encounter by telling people to keep their hands in their pocket. And I can go into it, but I think it all makes sense. So I just want to let you know that let's not read case law in the wrong way too. Let's look at the bigger picture here, right? Number one, the Frank case is from 1991. Things were a lot different back in 1991 than 2021, right, and beyond. And the other thing is, we look at the fact that would a reasonable person believe they can ignore you without legal repercussions? That's just the way I train. That's the way I look at it. I think you get to the right answer when you look at it that way. And the answer is no. And so most courts today are going to view that as a show of authority. And if the person submits, they have been detained under the Fourth Amendment. All right. So that's my advice there. I hope it helps, right? Hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends. And I hope I have helped you get it right every single time. Until next time, my friends. Thank you.
When it comes to law enforcement training, we are the gold standard. Visit bluetogold.com or call 888-579-7796 to learn more about our training, books, and free webinars. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel.